So back to the overthinking. We know what that feels like. Constantly living in our heads, fortune telling, creating worst case scenarios, juggling so much in your life. And you know that your body needs rest. It's telling you it's physically tired. Maybe you feel fatigued. This was me. I know how this feels. And I want you to know that you're not broken. It's your nervous system's safety, the overthinking. If you grew up where maybe you lived on eggshells, you've experienced trauma, maybe you've been carrying a lot, you've always had to carry a lot in your life, you're on high alert all the time, looking for danger, thinking about the next thing that you've got to do, feeling this weight of the world. You are living in survival mode. So being in stillness is not safe for your nervous system. It's actually becomes safe for your nervous system. Your safety is being in fight or flight and the overthinking. The overthinking feels productive for you too. It's your safety. So when I get a lot of clients, and myself, I could never sit in stillness. I remember with my family, and we all used to watch something on the TV together. And everyone would sit down, and I would be lying on the floor doing sit-ups. I felt like it was just so uncomfortable to sit still, and I felt like I needed to be productive. I needed to be constantly on the move. And this is what, there's a number of things that led me to the burnout, but I was just constantly on. I didn't know what that off switch was. My body didn't know. And in fact, being in the overthinking mind and always moving, I was getting a dopamine hit from that, even though it's not nourishing for my nervous system. So before you start shaming yourself, it's starting to have a level of understanding and compassion that, okay, the overthinking was my nervous system's way of keeping me safe and protecting me. But if you're watching this video, you're probably getting to the point where you're like, I don't want my body to be living in my head. And the biggest way that I would say that I've helped myself and help clients is teaching you to have a building a relationship with your body. And that the overthinking, the not being able to sit still, it's just feedback from your body of where you're at. But you can change and you can rewire your nervous system. So especially, it's also a really important point to make here is when we start building that relationship with our nervous system, we start to identify which states our nervous system is in, what tends to be our most dominant state. But then when we know where our nervous system is at any point in time, then we know what it needs. Because sometimes it does need stillness. Sometimes it needs movement to shift energy, to shift things that you've been holding in your nervous system, depending on where your nervous system's at. So if I have a client or myself and I say, hey, your body is probably needing some more stillness, some more grounding, some more presence. If I told you, if you're an overthinker, to go and sit and meditate and sit in silence, how unsafe is that for your body? Your body would it'd be too much for your body, too much overwhelm. And this is where I ask clients and myself, I invite myself in to go, right, well, actually, what does my body need? Sometimes it is, as I said, stillness, and sometimes it's movement. But if I do want to sit in stillness and I do want to meditate, I find I have much more of a juicier meditation, focused meditation, if I move my body first. So especially if you're so used to movement and overthinking, sitting in stillness, I'm kind of repeating myself here, but I'm trying to reinforce, sitting in stillness is uncomfortable and unsafe. So for you, it might be, okay, I'm going to just put some music on and just shake my body. We pick up stress throughout the day. We hold stress in our physical bodies. And you go and you sit down and you're holding all this in your body and you're feeling twitchy and agitated. Instead, putting on some music, shaking your body. And for some, shaking and moving their body can feel very uncomfortable, and that's also feedback for your nervous system. But what that does is all this holding that we do, holding stress in our bodies, we don't release it because we're holding ourselves so tensely and it's staying stuck in our nervous system. So doing a 5-minute just shake around, shaking your hands, shaking your body, dancing, moving around, you can change your state very quickly. And when you do that, when I do it with clients and they get the feedback, they say, oh, I have so much more space in my body. We don't need to get into the story of what your body's holding. We're just going to shake it off. I always say this in many videos. Think about an animal in the wild when they have to go into fight or flight because they're being chased. But when they are not chased, when they come out of it, notice they'll have a shake. They'll shake their body. And that's because they're shaking out the stress on their body and releasing it, so it's completed their nervous system, and then they're able to switch back into that restorative part of their nervous system. So this is what I invite you in to practice. Put some music on and shake your body, move it. Then try maybe sitting in stillness. If stillness, doing it in stages, if you are such an overthinker, then hey, instead of just sitting in complete stillness, I'm going to sit here with a warm cup of tea and I am going to look at what's around the room and bring myself into presence. I might sit and light a candle and watch the candle. Feel the temperature of the warm drink and just come into the moment. And that in itself is a form of stillness and a meditation. What we're trying to do here is retrain the nervous system to say, hey, sitting in stillness is safe. Resting is safe. But we've got to build up to that. We can't just go straight into it, because you go straight into it, then you get frustrated with yourself, and then you shame yourself for not being able to sit in stillness. And then you go back into the brain, into the mind and the overthinking. It's like this repeated cycle. So when we start working with the mind and body together to rewire your nervous system, this is where the magic is. And I've had to put the reps in to teach my mind and my body that stillness and rest is safe. It takes time and leaning in and putting the reps in. So no, you're not broken with the constant overthinking. Your body is trying to keep you safe. It's looking for danger. It's anticipating. It's going over the past. It's reliving past trauma. So next time you come home and you feel tired, or the weekend and your body needs to rest, this is your opportunity to go, okay, how can I start training my nervous system? And maybe that looks like sitting outside in nature with a warm drink and being present. Maybe that's, you know what, I'm going to shift my body, I'm going to move my body. And then I'm going to sit in stillness. Experiment. There's no right or wrong ways. Now, if you need some help with this, I do have the nervous system toolkit, which is coming out soon. You can access my tools that I use and take you on a journey for you to get to know your body and your nervous system more deeply, to start bringing awareness to what your default nervous system state is and what is going to be nourishing for your nervous system. You are not broken. You're just ready to build a different relationship with your body.